And we're live. We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Rural World Truth Matters. Hunting truth, wildlife chaos, boar invasion, and the cost of inaction. Tonight, we're cutting through the noise because while the media obsesses over celebrity scandals and political theater, there's a battle happening in our forests, our farms, and our backyards. And it's one they don't want to talk about. This isn't just about hunting, it's about stewardship. It's about protecting the land and the animals and the people who depend on both. It's about truth, real truth, that's being buried under layers of emotional activisms and bureaucrats' silence. Wildlife population are exploding. Deer are starving, elk and are spreading disease, and feral hogs are causing over $2.5 billion in damage. Yeah, you heard that right. Across 28 states. $2.5 billion in damage across 28 states. Boars alone. They're uprooting crops, contaminating water, and threatening livestock, and they're not slowing down. Meanwhile, farmers are being pushed to the brink. Their fields are ravaged, their fences torn down, and their livelihoods threatened. Nine! Those are my two feral German AKC German Shepherds right there. So I'll reread that. Meanwhile, farmers are being pushed to the brink. Their fields are ravaged, their fences torn down, and their livelihoods threatened. All while the so-called experts tell us hunting is outdated or cruel. Let me be clear. Hunting isn't cruel. Right here's my 3 arrows I shot earlier at the famous buck, Glenn. Look, it's Glenn. Say Glenn. Say hi to everybody, Glenn. This is the famous buck on YouTube right here. Okay? He's got 1,000 views. Glenn. See that? Look at that grouping right there. That's a dead deer. He's going to take 5-10 steps and he's going to fall down. There's no cruelty in that. New headphones also, yes. And what do I slock them with? Right here. Right here. See that? Do you see it? It's a PSE with an HHA scope. Single pin can go from 9 yards to 78. Adjustable sight. Okay? That's what I stock them with. Okay? And I took my arrow quiver off because I put it on the stand. And there's my arrow quiver. And for you that don't understand archery, those are called broadheads. See that? And what they do, these are just field tips. But what they do is they open up. And look at that. Those are 3 razor sharp blades right there. You're killing a deer or whatever, a turkey, coyotes, you name it, almost instantaneously. Okay? So I brought Glenn, the famous deer up here. And there's the 3 arrows I shot at him earlier. So, there's that. Let me be clear. Hunting isn't cruelty. It's conservation. It's discipline. It's the oldest form of ecological management we have. And when done right, it saves lives, human and animals alike. Tonight, we're diving into 5 critical truths that mainstream won't touch, from population control and disease prevention to the boar invasion and the forgotten art of hunting safety. And we're going to do it with clarity, conviction, and a whole lot of truth. This is Real World Truth Matters, and tonight we hunt for answers. So the number 1 is hunting is a pillar of wildlife population control. In the absence of apex predators like wolves and mountain lions, which have been eradicated or restricted in many regions, deer and elk populations have exploded. Overpopulating leads to 1. Overgrazing. Native plants are stripped, leading to soil erosion and habitat collapse. 2. Starvation. Herds outgrow food supply, especially in harsh winters. 3. Disease outbreaks. Chronic wasting disease, also known as CWD, is here in Pennsylvania, spreads rapidly in dense populations, causing neurological decay and death. And 4. Vehicle collisions. Over 1.5 million deer versus vehicle collisions occur annually in the U.S., causing 200 plus human deaths. You heard that right, 200 plus human deaths and $1 billion in damages. Hunting is not just a sport, it's a biological management tool. State wildlife agencies use population modeling to set quotas and seasons, ensuring ethical harvest and ecological balance. Hunters fund conservation through license fees and excise tax. Pittman-Robertson Act generates $1 billion annually. Here's a safety tip. In high traffic hunting zones, always wear blaze orange and confirm your targets beyond doubt. Misidentification is the number 1 cause of human hunting accidents. Number 2, the wild boar invasion. 2.5 billion in damages and rising. Feral swine are a hybrid of escaped domestic pigs and Eurasian wild boars. They reproduce rapidly. Sows can birth 12 piglets twice a year. That's 24 piglets a year. Damage include, here comes the 4. 1. Crop devastation. Corn, soybeans, wheat, and rice fields are uprooted overnight. Whole fields. 2. Water contamination. Boars wallow in creeks and ponds, spreading E. coli and leptospirosis. I butchered that one. 3. Livestock threats. They attack cows, lambs, and poultry. 4. Infrastructure damage. Fences, irrigation systems, and roads are torn up by boar. Turning my mic down just a little bit. So the spread. Boar now infest 28 plus states, with Texas alone spending $7 million annually on control. Sightings are increasing in Pennsylvania. That's where I'm at. Ohio, and even suburban areas of Georgia and North Carolina. Imagine that. Because boars don't care. They'll eat anything. They'll eat a dead cat that's laying in an alley. Trust me. Combat strategies. Coral traps with remote triggers hatch entire sounders, which is a sounder is a group of pig. Night hunting. You can also night hunt coyotes. Here in Pennsylvania, to night hunt coyotes, you have to have your fur trapper's license, fur taker's license, which I personally used to love hunting the coyote, but I don't want to pay for my fur takers when literally all I hunt is the coyote and fox. I don't trap beaver, I don't trap mink, I don't trap anything, right? But I will hunt coyotes. But I'm not just going to pay for a tag just to hunt coyotes at night when they're active. You're not going to get them to come out at night. There's not an adrenaline rush in this world other than like skydiving. I've done it. Skydiving, I would compare it to. The same thing applies when you're calling using a rabbit, or any call whatsoever that will attract the coyote, right? Something that's hurt. And then having this in the field. This. And having a pack of 6 or 7 coyotes circling you, and you're just taking them out one by one until some of them get smart. After a few yelp and you're taking them down, the other ones will leave. But it's an adrenaline rush. Why? Because they're coming to kill you. They're just like any other pack of dogs. They fight together. They live together as family. But we have to keep control of them. Because if we don't, they're going to get Glenn. Helicopter curling is used in open ranch lands. That's where you hunt from a helicopter with a gun. Safety tip. Never approach a wounded boar. They charge unpredictably and can cause severe injuries with tusks. Always hunt with backup and carry a sidearm. Number 3. We're going to 5. This is number 3. Farmers versus overpopulation. The hidden cost of inaction. Farmers are on the front lines of wildlife mismanagement. A single boar raid can destroy $10,000 plus worth of crops overnight. Deer herds trample seedlings, strip fruit trees, and spread ticks that carry Lyme's disease. Overpopulation also leads to 1. Water pollution from animal waste runoff, 2. Fence damage and livestock stress, 3. Insurance losses and reduced yields. Economic impact. Some farmers are forced to abandon fields or switch crops due to persistent wildlife damage. Hunting leases provide supplemental income and help control local populations. Conservative liens. Conservation must include human livelihood. Protecting farmland is protecting America's food supply. A safety tip. Always get written permission when hunting near agricultural land. Respect the property lines and the livestock zones. 4. Disease prevention through regulated hunting. Imagine that. Back to CWD probably, right? Which is chronic waste disease. High density wildlife populations are breeding grounds for disease. 1. CWD in deer. Fatal, contagious, and incurable. It's incurable. 2. Swine fever in boars threatens domestic pork industry. And 3. Mange and rabbits, mange and rabies in coyotes can spread to pets and humans. Hunters help by removing infected animals, reporting outbreaks to wildlife authorities, and reducing population densities in slow transmission. Slow to slow transmission. Hunters, me, possibly you, are frontline biosecurity agents. I'm like feeling like I'm an agent, but anyway, their vigilance protects both wildlife and rural communities. You know, you get these people one day, they're like, oh, don't kill the precious deer, but Bambi looks good on my wall. Bambi tastes good in my food. You know, we get 2 deer. I'll feed my whole family all winter. 2 deer. Don't kill the deers. Don't kill the foxes. Don't kill anything. And then, you know, becomes a big, big, big problem. So, a safety tip: use nitrile gloves when field dressing. Disinfect knives and gear. Avoid consuming meat from visibly sick animals. That's an obvious one. I have lots of gloves in my hunter's bag. 5, the final one: hunter safety, the forgotten discipline that saves lives. Hunting accidents are preventable, but still common. Falls from tree stands. So the number one cause of serious injuries. Average fall height is 15 to 20 feet, and my tree stand is sometimes higher than that. But I do wear a 5-point harness that is above the tree, and then above that I have my real tree umbrella that I leave up the entire season, and I fold my seat up so it don't rot away, and I keep my hunting area very, very clean. I come in one direction, I walk out the same. I don't screw around, you know. And my camera is completely wireless. So I get notifications directly to my phone. The only time I have to approach my camera is to change the battery pack, which if I get enough of the solar panels to connect to it, I would never have to do that. And that's where my lick stick and everything is. That's my drop zone, is what I call it. And that's where this guy stands. See, that's where this guy stands, because a buck comes up to this guy. Obviously, you don't have the arrows in him at that time, but a buck comes up to this guy. He's like, "Oh, you want to battle for the ladies?" And Glen here doesn't move. See, there's no mechanics. He's not mechanical at all, because that would be illegal in Pennsylvania. Some states allow mechanical deer. Some states don't, or mechanical decoys, I guess I should say. Be more specific there. So I'll just restart. 5, hunter safety, the forgotten discipline that saves lives. Expanded details. Hunting accidents are preventable, but still common. Falls from tree stands, number one cause of injury. Average fall height is 15 to 20 feet. accidental discharge, often during a poor trigger discipline or gear malfunction. And 3 is heart attacks. Cold weather, exertion, and adrenaline spikes are a dangerous mix. Top safety practices. Use a full body harness, as I just said, in elevated stance. Treat every firearm as if it were loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to kill. Not till you're ready to shoot, till you're ready to kill. You keep your finger above that on the side rail. Then you drop down to the trigger. And as you're locked on, you slowly start squeezing and you let it surprise you. You don't just automatically go straight to the trigger. Never. Wear blazing orange, even on private land. Now, that one I have a difference of opinion on. I wear real tree from head to toe. In my tree stand, you would walk right underneath me and you would never know that I was there. I'm not even joking. I literally look like part of the tree. But when there's small game or a cross season in, I will put a blaze orange vest or something on top of my rain umbrella, or mark a tree nearby, very, very close to where I am. And so people know there's somebody in that area. Learn basic first aid and CPR, especially in hunting, if hunting alone, which I do have that. Always share your location and return time with someone. I made a mistake this past summer. I went fishing on my own. My dogs are about to howl because the whistles are testing. Zalas Lego Nida 9. Biguk. So I went fishing and ended up not telling my fiance where I was going. And in the process of doing so, I sprained my ankle very bad. And I was dragging myself along with a stick from my left leg because my ankle was so bad I could not put any pressure whatsoever on it. And guess what? I wasn't in cell service. She didn't know where I was. And then when I did get cell service, it was very, very spotty. She looked around for like an hour and a half for me, not knowing where I was. She drove like 40 some miles in a round area trying to find me and failed to completely do so. I actually made it back to my truck just before dark. Remember, I was fishing. I wasn't hunting. And it was the beginning of trout season, first quarter of trout season. And we ended up, me and her saw each other's headlights and stuff on the road. And I didn't go to the hospital, but I did twist my ankle very, very bad. So I would definitely do that. Always share your location and return time with someone. So if you're not back at that time, no, that's not siren test. That's real sirens. So there's going to be fire trucks and ambulances and all kinds of stuff coming past here. But we're about to break it down anyway. So definitely share your location with someone you love so they know where you are. Safety is personal responsibility. It's not just about protecting yourself. It's about honoring the hunt and those around you, not disrupting other people, especially if you're hunting public lands. So those are the things I wanted to cover tonight. I brought Glenn up because he's so famous. Huh? See that? I brought Glenn up. Look at him. Look at how dead he is. He's dead 3 times over right there. Yeah. That's how much Glenn loves me. See? I'm so supportive. We're supportive of each other right here. We just love each other. We do. right before the real buck tries to gouge him with his horns, his antlers, right? I slock him. So Glenn don't get hurt. But Glenn only takes the punishment from me. See? I guess and my fiance and anybody else that would shoot at him. 9! Adalia, Zalat, Legonida. Now. 9. Nonsense. But I thank you all for watching this video. I hope it gives you some insight. I hope it wasn't too obnoxious. And until next time, it's Ace. Stay blessed. And don't forget about Glenn.